All right, 314 balance adjustment preview. For some reason, it's an entire day early. Maybe Smilegate wants to rush it out because of the lack of content and other stuff. But let's take a look at what they got here. I'm hoping for a lot of characters, or at least good choices. Let's see what we have. That is not a lot of characters. That is 5 characters, and Victoria's flag needed a change. Little Queen Charlotte, top model, whew, and record. Oh man, wait, I like all 3 of those characters actually. Clarissa probably for PvE. Falconer Kluri could be actually really good. Let's see what it is though. Lasting effect Rage. Oh, Constellation. Wait, they're changing Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, Leo. Oh, for mages. That's interesting. What is it going to be? Little Queen Charlotte. When the enemy is defeated, it inflicts extinction. Okay, that's cool. Whoa, her imprint is crit chance now? Okay, that's actually kind of insane. Wow. So you need even less crit chance on Little Queen Charlotte then. She's even easier to build than she was before. That's actually surprising that they would give something like that. Okay. Yeah, this is neat. This makes it easier to build her, even easier than before. And Extinction is really nice. It makes it so that someone like MOU Fiend gets completely bodied, which is a really good thing. Tamaluka, please be good. What is it? Grants a barrier to the caster for 3 turns when she uses her S2. Does not increase combat readiness of all allies by 20% anymore. Proportional to the caster's level. Okay. Alright. And then S3 increases attack of the caster for 3 turns. Inflicts extinction, increases combat radius of all allies by 20%, and increases damage dealt when you soul burn it. So the problems with top model Luluka is that she's slow, she doesn't do enough damage, and she relies on a non-attack skill. Those are the issues with top model Luluka and why she's not really that good. This makes it so you don't need to use the non-attack skill before just S3. She still has a problem with speed, but she can hold her own book, and if this actually gives her a lot of damage, like we don't know the damage increase, right? If it does a lot, then that could be really good. But let's continue onwards. They did change the mage constellations as well. Requiem Rowana. Can only be activated once per turn. Oh, wait. Holy, that's huge. So her passive before could only be activated once per turn. So now, even if they have someone like, let's say, Politis or something like that, if you have a character that takes 2 turns, she'll actually get pushed up 50, then 50. So she actually can still take turns against someone like MOU Fiend and Politis, which is a really huge deal. That is actually really helpful. There was no reason for it to only be activated once per turn, so I think that that's really good, actually. S3 now dispels 1 buff first. Oh my god, and damage dealt increased. This is a little scary. This is actually scary. Stripping a buff and increasing the damage and making it so she's not as scared of, you know, MOU Fiend or Politis is really big. Because you can have a character like Ran or, I don't know, Lua, you know, somebody that takes 2 turns, you could have 2 openers like that. And then she's guaranteed to take the turn and dispels. I don't know what the damage dealt increased is, but right now it's pretty bad damage, so that could actually be significant. That's really huge. Also, her star sign is probably changed as well. Clarissa, when an enemy is defeated, resets cooldown. Oh, that's actually cool. Damage dealt increased. Okay, well, she's a Wyvern God. Now she has a higher chance to decrease defense as well. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, maybe for Rift, maybe it's like ahead of time. Maybe there'll be mobs for all we know. Okay. Sure. It's kind of a waste in the balance patch when you're only buffing 5 people, but whatever. Let's see Falconer Kluri. Wow, that's it. Inflicts resource reduction to target by 40% when using light step on the caster's turn. That's her S1. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. That's a huge deal. Wait, she's back. She's actually... Falconer Kluri is actually back. Wow. She takes tons of turns, and her S1 spam being able to do that is kind of crazy. That's actually a really, really big deal. Just every single turn, you're able to reduce their resources by 40%. That's fighting spirit. And if you have like Rowana, you can just spam attack Euphine or spam attack Landy or, you know, Lionheart Surmia. Like all these characters that rely on any resource, she kind of slaps. That's actually a huge deal. And her S3 is an amazing ability. The issue with this character was always that she would S3 and then be completely useless after. But now she's constantly able to just remove their focus, their fighting spirit, their whatever resource. That's crazy. Victorious Flag. When attacking, damage dealt increased by 16%. When being attacked, damage taken decreased by 60% when more than one damage... Wait, this is insane. Wait, this is actually like OP as hell now. It's just 16% damage increase and you take 16% less damage. Isn't this like the best Guild War artifact now? Like, isn't it like Symbol's good, but this is like better. This is like just better for most stuff, right? Only applies to Earth, Ice, and Fire though. Okay. You know, I kind of like that. They made it so it only works on RGB characters. That's interesting. Okay. I think I like how they did that. That's a more elegant way of making it still apply to elements. Okay. I think that's a good thing. Can't use it on MLs. Alright, Rage now gives 20% attack and speed instead of 10%. Who gets Rage? Clarissa, I believe Mort gets Rage. So I think it buffs those two characters. Oh yeah, Kane, I think, gets Rage as well. Wow, just in time for them to remove Rift. Awesome. Just in time for Rift to not exist anymore. Thank you. Oh yeah, Teiyu, a Taiwan. Yeah, 20% speed is nice. Most of these characters don't care too much about attack. Alright, let's see the Constellation changes. Leo Mage. So Leo Mage currently has like crazy high attack. Like insanely high attack. Like 1400 or something. They remove the speed off that, give 3 attack. 8% crit chance. Wow. Instead of 6% attack. So Leo now is losing 6 speed, but they're getting 3% attack and 8% crit chance. Which I would say is a win. I think that that's a big win, honestly. They don't really need speed. All of the Leo mages, like, who are they? Like Ludwig. Actually, Emma Ludwig loses the speed as well, which is a little bit lame, right? Or are they losing nothing? Are they just increasing the base? Wait, hold on. Oh. Oh, they're losing nothing. Okay, they're changing the base as well, so they just get 8% crit chance. Oh. Oh, okay. Wow. That's really good. Oh, holy crap. That's really helpful. That 8% crit chance is huge. Eternal Wanderer, Ludwig, Melissa, and Roy Mustang all just have 8% more crit chance. That's nice. Misty Chain, whatever, bro. Virgo mages are now getting 2 more speed. Okay. Architect Leica and Koeric. Okay. Oh, top model Luca and Vivian are now getting 4 more speed. 119 speed. That makes it a lot easier to build top model Luca. I don't really think that that's enough for some people, but that means with speed set, you're just getting 5 more speed automatically, which means building her 300 speed is a lot more possible. We'll have to see the damage they increase on her S3 though with the pen. Not the pen, the soul burn. 4 more speed on Researcher Carrot, Adlai Carrot. Okay. Pisces Mage is now, let's just look at what they're adding. Pisces Mage gets more HP, 5 more speed, and loses 20% crit chance. They're losing 20%. Okay, so Oxlots. I mean, hey, 5 speed is huge for a character like that. Harado. They're the only ones. They're the only Pisces mages. And yeah, they didn't really need the crit chance. The speed's better. He gets 4 speed. These are the proposed balance changes and improvements that are scheduled for the update on March 14th. Each of the adventure stories of our heirs echoes throughout Orbis in the 7th world. We're grateful to be with you on your epic 7 journey. We'll continue to try our best to improve the heroes in our game so that every character can be utilized by our heirs. So, let's quickly go over this. Let's just quickly discuss like what we think these changes are going to be like. How good are they? Are they worth it? Etc. Little Queen Charlotte is getting a nice upgrade. I don't think Little Queen Charlotte needed a huge upgrade overall. Whether she's good or not purely depends on the meta and other stuff like that. This just makes her better against someone like MLU Fiend, which is really good, and just a little bit easier to build. You need less crit chance on her, although you don't build a ton anyways. Top model Luca's change. Well, I would say like Little Queen Charlotte is like a semi-winner. Okay. Top model Luca's change. It completely depends on how much damage she's getting. I will say it's a little disappointing that her S1 soul burn isn't that anymore, because I kind of liked that. I think that they should just increase the damage of her S3 without soul burn. Honestly. Top model Luca, she should still just have her S1 soul burn and her S3 should just do more, because it's just not enough. Like, she just doesn't do enough, so I don't really know if it's enough of a buff. I think moving the attack buff to S3 is great, and the 20% push. Her S2 kind of just seems like a trash ability overall. I mean, it gives the barrier, which is great, but I don't know, it's just kind of jank. It's kind of a jank ability. But we'll have to see the damage increase. It literally just comes down to how much damage she does. If she does a ton of damage, then she might be really cool, and I'm totally going to use her. If she doesn't, like, look, you have to kill stuff like MLU Fiend and Karina and things like that. You have to break through that. If she's not able to deal with that, then you're useless. That's kind of how the game works right now. Requiem Rwana seems big. This is big, honestly. I think she might actually be a really good character now. Making it so that you can bypass stuff like MLU Fiend and Politis is a really huge deal, and I actually like that they're doing this. Also, dispelling one buff, kind of a huge deal. Some people will run stuff like barrier set and things like that, making it so dispelling one buff just isn't really enough. But I think that's kind of a really big deal overall, being able to do that. And damage dealt increased. Let's say she gets like a 20% damage increase. That's, you know, pretty significant overall. It's just true damage and ignores defense, which is pretty nice. So she's way, way, way more usable now. So I think she's kind of a winner. Top model Luca, not sure if she's a winner. Little Queen Charlotte, kind of winner. Requiem Rwana, definitely a winner. Oh yeah, now she doesn't get increased damage every time she S3s. Well, let's be real. Who the hell was getting 2 S3s or even 3 S3s on Requiem Rwana? That means your opponent is like Garbaggio. If you get more than one, like, what is your opponent doing most of the time? Like, yeah, you won the game, right? Like, what is your opponent playing? Clarissa, I'm not really gonna say winner of the patch. Like, it's nice, but like, I mean, it helps with Wyvern, I guess, but whatever. Falconer Kluri, I think, is a giant winner of the patch. I think this is huge. I think this is like actually like it's game changing in some ways. Any character that relies on focus or fighting spirit or anything like that, this just bodies them. This completely bodies them. Her S3 is a good ability. Her S3 is a really good ability. But the problem is it can be 15%ed, and also, you know, like, that's it. That's all she does, right? But having her S1 be this, like, dude, you can hard punish some units. Like, if you have Rwana in your team and you just spam S1 Ufiend, the Ufiend's useless. They're literally useless, right? They're just helping you constantly. It even could kind of work against Landy if you have someone like Rwana. Just being able to, like, use this on Lionheart Surmia turn 1, you just S1, or, like, you S3, and then you immediately S1 the Lionheart, and then it's like, well, now she can't S3, ever, right? That's kind of insane. Falconer Kluri has all sorts of gimmicks to be able to take turns faster and stuff like that, too, that I think this is really, really good. I think this is really nice. Victorious Flag is in. This artifact is now good, like, really good. I mean, everyone should be using this on at least one of their RGB characters. It's literally, like, top damage decrease for an RGB. This is actually amazing. Amazing artifact. Rage, nobody cares. It's like, whatever. There's like 3 characters in the game that get it, and I mean, the speed is nice. It's like, kind of whatever. And then the stat changes are wins as well. I mean, like, I use Eternal Wanderer Ludwig. I guess I can lower his crit rate, increase his damage now. Melissa and Ludwig are kind of whatever, I guess, and same with Roy. They're just kind of hard to use at the moment. Yeah, Architect Leica getting 2 speed increase. That's nice for her. Top model Luca getting the speed increase is nice. But all in all, I would say that these balance changes are, I mean, they're actually good changes to the characters. However, the problem is we need more. If they had twice the amount of buffs that they did here, I would think, wow, this is actually a really amazing balance patch and Smilegate cares. I would say if we compare this to other patches Smilegate does, this is a good balance patch. If we compare it to how the game is at the moment and what it should be and what they should do to make it better, it's just not good enough in my opinion. And you might say like, oh, nothing's ever good enough for you. Or people like to say like, oh, you guys complain when they overbuff things and you guys complain when they underbuff things. Okay, well, how about we go with the Goldilocks method and we say, how about just right? Like, if it's people's jobs to make things correct, it's not my job. It's not any of chat's job. It's not you who's watching job. It's their job. It is literally they are being paid to make this stuff right. They should be getting the stuff just right. They shouldn't be making things either horribly trash or horribly overpowered, right? That's just how it is. And I think some of these changes are nice, and I actually like some of these changes. I think they're good. But they need to be doing more of this. If they're going to make balance patches this small, they should, I mean, like, you know, only 5 characters, they should be doing them, like, bi-weekly if they're doing them this small, or at least every month. Please, at least every month. Like, come on, man. I do like the fact they changed constellations. They should do this more often as well. 1000% they should be doing this. In fact, I think that this whole system is horribly flawed, and they should have been changing this a long time ago. The fact that Smilegate released this an entire day early from when they normally release it tells me they're a little panicked. They're a little bit worried, because they never do this. They actually really never do this, unless they tell us, I think, normally. So I think Smilegate is kind of feeling the heat, because a lot of people are really disappointed. I'm incredibly disappointed with the game. I really, really, really like Epic 7. And I think a lot of you guys like Epic 7 as well. And I think a lot of people are just feeling disappointed. We know Smilegate could do better, but they aren't. They just haven't been, right? And I think that the easiest way for Smilegate to be able to make this game better and to improve things is balance updates and just buffing things. Every time I say nerf, people go like, oh, you can't nerf. Like, okay, so I've stopped even saying nerf because people just cannot accept that. But if they can just buff more characters like this, that gets people excited. What gets you hyped to log into Epic 7? A new limited banner for you to pull and pity? Or they buffed 15 characters and like 2 of those characters are ones that you really, really like and want to use. That gets you hype. Because what's boring about Epic 7 is everything's figured out. Arena's figured out. RTA's figured out. Guild Wars is figured out. It's always just the same crap, the same units being picked, the same types of teams. Everything's figured out. Everything is the same. It's boring. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Buffing tons of characters, that's exciting. That's what people like to see. That's what makes you want to log in and get excited. And like the whole community is a buzz of like, oh, try out this like interesting team comp using this character and like all that kind of stuff, right? When you release a new character, like Laia has changed the meta, but it's kind of the same meta, but now she shifted in as the OP character and then like Lua shifted out. And it's like, okay, cool. It's like kind of the same crap though, right? But like when you balance change a lot of stuff, that's when the game gets hype. So anyways, this balance change is honestly better than a lot of Smilegates. Like, they've had way worse ones than this. I like some of the changes. I'll try them out probably, but just as a whole, a little bit disappointed that they are not really... They don't feel the fire under their ass enough. If they truly did, they probably would have buffed more characters. They really need to. They're currently hiring people for their balance team, though, funnily enough. I don't know how long it's going to take to hire them, get them situated and all that stuff, but like they need to do that right now, like right now, because they're kind of bleeding players at the moment and kind of need some changes. So anyways, that's about it for me for this. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you next time.